Hi there, Julian here, talking about my latest release, Topsham, which came out recently. This was the fourth release out of 5 of singles from a new album, which is coming soon, and I'm very excited about it. Sort of ambient and electronic and synthy style music. And this one I'm quite excited about because this is an old composition of mine. It's called Topsham because I composed it there when I used to live in this little village, this little sort of fishing village, very quaint, which is now part of Exeter in Devon. And I lived there when I was studying at Exeter doing my art degree way back many years ago. Must be 20, well, we're talking 90, I was there from 92 to 95. So I composed this in my first year when I was there in 92, 93. So I would have been about 20. And it's a very simple composition, something that I was always too shy or too embarrassed to actually release or record even, although I did do an earlier recording about 12 years ago, which sounds a bit like this. And now it sounds like this. With a little introduction. And as I say, I was a bit too embarrassed to release it because it's such a simple idea. But then this project came along where I'm releasing a lot of simple ideas together, but it's more about the texture, so it fits perfectly with that kind of set of works in this album. As I say, very simple ideas, just like a boom, 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 kind of like When the Night Has Come, Stand By Me, or The Zombies, Time of the Season. But actually this was more inspired by a Vangelis track. I was very into an album back in 92, which my friend Chris had lent me that summer, called Direct. It's a Vangelis album, and it was the second track on the album, Will of the Wind, which has a very simple melody. Do 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 do. Do do do. That's it. That's the melody, and then it goes into a change on the same chords, pretty much. So anyway, this is a very similar kind of tune to that. So if you want to check out Vangelis, Direct, Will of the Wind, beautiful, simple melody, but very beautifully built up with all these fantastic synths and wonderful textures and guitars and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, this is kind of in that vein. A very simple idea. Do do bow bow. That's the melody. Ba 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 bow. But just building it up, and so it's more about the textures rather than melody or harmony. It's got none of those jazzy chords that I usually like to put in my compositions. Just a simple D minor down to B flat. And then the change down to a G. I think that's it. There's very, very little in terms of, musically, harmonically complex stuff. It's just incredibly simple. So it starts off with your and as I say, it's kind of about the texture and the layering. That's what it's about. So this is actually probably one of the most complex tracks I've ever worked on, because I counted the number of active tracks and it came to 114. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, I like to layer a lot, but normally I don't get past 50, 60 tracks. But in this case, it's more than double. So yeah. So let's have a little listen, and you can see how I've layered it. So we start off with some backwards sounds. We got a few different instruments. Rusty piano. And this is all very much in theme with the other tracks on the album. There's a lot of backwards pianos. Woo, gives you that kind of sucking sound, but it's a good way of going into something because you're starting from nothing, building into a crescendo, and then suddenly cuts out. But that's when something else will drop. So in this case, you've got the rhythm, and I had a very specific rhythm in my mind, so I wanted to sort of recreate that meticulously. So let's have a quick look, track by track. You got the kick, very simple, but let's turn it up a bit. Kick and snare, bit of Latin percussion, just to fill it out a little bit, a bit of shaker, bit of African bongos and stuff, Latin scraper, Latin high block, more bongos, smash, more smash, the cymbal, that's and on top of that you've got more things like West Africa, Thunder Flick, and Moon Kit. Moon Kit is a very nice sort of kit with brushes, so let's have a listen with those. You can hear the Thunder Flick, boom boom, jam jam. So that's the rhythm there, and then we just simply, as you can see, I've got that in one colour. Then we get to the yellowy instruments. These are all of the sparkly, tinsely, high frequency marambas, xylophones, glockenspiels, vibes, all of those instruments which are providing that boom, 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 boom. So we got these, bit of maramba. Oh dear, the projects are so big it's starting to give me problems in playback. I had to start in this project and I had to move to another project, bouncing all the tracks to audio and then starting again because it was too much to handle. But let's see if we can. They're all frozen, the tracks, meaning that they've been converted to audio files within the project, so they're not using all of the plugins, processes, basically all the reverbs and stuff. So let's see if we can. Yeah, when you don't play everything at the same time, then it kind of works. So we've got marimba, xylophones, vibes. More vibes come in. Over here, this is probably for the change. Oh yeah, there you go. And you've even got little xylophone rolls there, which you can't really hear in the context of everything. But when you isolate them like this, you can hear all the detail. So that's all of the vibes and stuff. Then we've got, of course, the basses. We've got a nice roundwood bass here, and a nice upright to fill out the sound. Later on, we'll be using another bass. Oh gosh, the project is really struggling. I think I know why, it's because I'm recording at the same time. Okay, over here we've got another bass, which is modelled on Jaco Pastorius's fretless. What he made it fretless because he pulled all the frets out. So that's later on. So anyway, going back to the theme. So you've got the main synth there, which we'll check out in a minute, and all of these synths that give a little answer, call and answer. Here we go. So they're quite complex and they pan left and right. Well, let's carry on. Boom, boom, boom. So they're pretty cool. I guess this is the main synth lead here. Bit of pitch bends on there, so that's the main lead synth. It's kind of like a sine wave, sawtooth type of synth. It's called a TUC Sunray lead. Then we've got all these other sounds coming in as well. You've got, let's see. So these are basically a bunch of different synths with a lot of distortion, and here you go. That's actually emulating a guitar sound. Of course, if I did this live, I'd love to have someone on a rock guitar with the distortion up, which would be awesome. But I did it all with synths. So you got a shredder, then you got a what's this weird Zorp thing? So you got all of these sounds making up that kind of soundscape. And like I say, a very simple idea, but it's all about the texturing, the layering. If you listen to it in the headphones, you can start to hear the layers behind it. You probably won't hear all 114, but you'll hear like clusters of layers. So you got the doom, doom, you got the rhythm, you got the marambas and stuff, and the xylophones, and you got all the synths, the lead synth and the call and answer synths, and then the heavy synths that come in on the change. I can see down here I was using some extra mallets. With echo. Yeah, just to provide a little bit of extra texture there. And we got some, what are these pianos down here? Yeah, to add to the change. So you got extra organs and a nice electric 88 piano, retro keyboard, and then of course the organs round to add to the extra texture. Then you got a breaks down to the theme again. Coming in here, change again. Engine is barely coping. I'm going to need a new Mac soon. So at this point, in the original recording I did, which sounds like this, there's a breakdown here and it goes into a more spacious section, which is what I wanted to do. But in the other recording, it was kind of like a sort of jazzy breakdown and jazzy chords on a kind of electric keyboard. But I didn't really want to do that this time. It didn't quite work. I wanted something else. So this was an idea that came just in a split second as soon as I got to this section, when I'd loaded up some instruments, and one of them was this Repro 5 Future Blues. So this is it's a type of soft synth, and basically I had this. I was going through my. See, the audio engine's really having problems now because it's all crackly. Anyway, that was the. I heard the sound and I thought, ooh, that with echo So I stuck an echo on it, and then of course it became this. And you had a couple of them, and then you've got the next section that was perfect for what I wanted in this kind of more ambient, more electronic style track rather than a jazzy track. So you have this breakdown. Swells, ethereal instruments, and of course your acoustic bass up here, and another plucked instrument. What's this? Oh yeah, it's that plucky synth underneath. Then you've got your little trap beat coming in there, which is this. Pretty cool beat. On a music box. And violas. Nice Jacko bass there underneath. Fretless, warm. Then you continue with the breakdown with a bit of piano. Again with the Repro 5 with echo. Then that comes out now. And we're going back to the kind of theme. But first we're introducing this new line as a segue, as a bridge. And then the theme will come back on top of it because it kind of fits together like a jigsaw puzzle. Nice rock beat there. We're going to build up the percussion. We've got some African and bongos and cymbal. Shakers with two shakers either side. Pound left and right. Organ coming in. We've got lots of organs. If I just do a little breakdown there so you can see all the organs, there's a subby bass organ, classic organs, jazz organs, all sorts of organs. Let's just have a listen to those on their own. And keyboards. One at a time. See the subtlety. Bassy one, Green Onions organ, Indian Rope Man organ, the classic and the subby bass. And then back to the change idea. And basically what I did, I've got two drum beats here, and I simply duplicated it. Well, they were doubled anyway to be a little bit stronger, and a little bit of reverb on, etc. But then I took one, I slightly displaced it. On its own, it sounds like this. The second one I slightly displaced, so you got the double snare, brum, boom, ba-dum. So it sounds like quite an epic rock drum track. But that worked great for this little breakdown again with the kind of electric guitar simulated sound, which is all those heavy organs and synths. And then into the outro. So you got everything working now. All the drums, all the marambas, all the basses, all the shredders, and then all the organs down here. And then simply ends with this little outro. It's actually two instruments if you listen carefully. Or three. Let's have a little listen, just to show you. So if you, now you can hear. It's not responding. So you got the organs. Oh, there's two organs doing that theme to beef it out a little bit. But then you got this lovely bassy synth called the Tyrell underneath as well. So it gives you that sort of bite, that low, sawtoothy, bassy, textured, gritty sound underneath. It's quite low in the mix, but then you mix that with the organs and you get that sound, damn it. And you get that sound. And then a slight pitch bend at the end, which is always fun, especially to end on. So that was Topsham. Like I said, my new track, called Topsham because I composed it there in Exeter, in this little village called Topsham. I was actually on the Topsham bus going home one day and it just popped into my head. I was thinking about Vangelis and that kind of stuff, and then this tune just kind of presented itself. And like I said, it was so simple, I didn't want to really present it to anyone. I was kind of embarrassed because it's so simple. But sometimes it's fun to work with simplicity and just concentrate on the layering and the textures and the sounds. And so that's what I did with this one. It was incredibly fun to work on, and it was fun to resuscitate an old project and put some life into it, and then put it with this body of work which it fits in with on its own. It's one of these weird floaty compositions that I had which never really fit anywhere, but now with this sort of electro and ambient and electronic style album that's coming out called Ambient Ambient Explorations in Wonderland. This is a good fit for that body of work. So anyway, hope you liked that. Thanks for watching and catch you next time. Why don't you put the headphones on, have a little listen. Cheers. you.